Okay, we should be recording now. Welcome, everyone. This is our last lecture in this series, Music of Mexico, and it's been really interesting to meet all of these lecturers and hear what they have to say. I've really had a great time, and I hope you guys have too. All of you have made it through these, or the majority of these, and of course this will be recorded and up on YouTube later on this week if you'd like to watch it again. And for those who can't be here tonight, and tonight we have Fernanda Reyna with us, and a little bit about her. She's a contemporary artist based in Mexico City. She has a PhD in visual arts and design from UNAM, the big university in Mexico City, really the one of the major universities in the world, in Latin America. Her educational journey includes workshops and artistic residences, and she's been studied at the Sheffield University of England. Her work has been exhibited in Spain, Portugal, France, England, and Mexico. And her research focuses on contemporary art and its respective social intersection with ecology. She has participated in more than 20 collective exhibitions and 7 individual exhibitions in different museums and art galleries from Mexico and the world. Her current work examines the interaction and definition of such media as painting, engraving, installation, and artist books. And her goal is to explore color and ideas and format in order to question the meaning of art in each context. And tonight, she's going to talk with us a little bit about Mexico City and the incredible amount of museums there and art galleries, the diverse cultural movements in the city. The city is a UNESCO site in itself. It has a very important cultural scene. It is one of the major cities of the world, one of the largest cities of the world, and just an incredible place to visit and to know about. And so she's going to help us take a look at some of those things this evening. So please help me welcome Fernanda Reyna. And Fernanda, whenever you're ready, we're ready for you.
Thank you, Stephen, and everyone who is watching this lecture. I am very happy to share with you this lecture. And well, as you know, the title is Mapping Great Mexico Tenochtitlan Art. And well, I want to talk about the city as an open museum where we can see, think, and feel the world in a new way. Okay, the title is a little bit referring to the 500 years that had happened after Hernan Cortes arrived to this city. So I prepared some structure for this lecture, which is gives you a little bit of backgrounds about why I am thinking about this idea of the city as an open museum. And I think that is because the problem or question is that art in Mexico, and especially in Mexico City, is also outside of the museums or outside the museums. And that allows me to think about what kind of aesthetic we have here. And I was thinking that the reason is because we have a mix-up aesthetic, and that's why this happens. And then I'm going to show you how you can map Mexico City as an open museum. It's just like some exercise for encouraging you to live this city as an open museum. And then I will show you some of the examples that some contemporary artists has been doing in this city. And then, well, finally, some conclusions. Okay, so I would like to introduce this topic with the definition of museum. Since I know that maybe everyone here knows what is a museum, it's important to reflect about this concept. so that we can just appropriate this word in a more freely way. So, for example, for most, well, there is like a council of museums which established that a museum is a non-profit permanent institution in the service of society and its development, open to the public. Well, here is the definition of the museum for the World Museum Council. And what it says is that it's kind of a container for tangible and intangible heritage of humanity and its environment for the purposes of education, study, and enjoyment. But I think that also museums are institutions which supports part of the history, aesthetics, and identity from an state, a nation, depending on its focus. I mean that museums also works as an instrument for a specific culture that the state wants to people to believe in or to follow. So now, as a way of, well, as an exercise, I would love that people here in this lecture can write to me some words in the chat that comes to your mind when we talk about museums. Is that okay for you? Like, I want to know what you think. So I will wait your answers. Where are you? Here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Heritage and history, say Khalid. Okay, yeah, I'm also agreed. Dinosaurs, oh, that's great, yeah, because museums also have dinosaurs, of course. A place for knowledge. It's Adriana, and art, culture. Okay, well, as you see, we have different ideas about what is a museum, and different words come to our mind. Okay, so in other side, a map is a representation of selected characteristics of a place, usually drawn on a flat surface. This map is the oldest one from Mexico Tenochtitlan. This used to be the very first map. And what I was thinking today, while I was thinking about this lecture, if it was, I thought like mapping is kind of flying, because if you need to imagine this, you need to imagine yourself as if you were flying. And in that time when airplanes weren't, we didn't use airplanes, I think that it was interesting that they imagined the world this way. For me, a map is a tool and way to organize and represent human reality in a visual scale using specific symbols. And for me, it's very important, the scale. Okay, well, where this idea of open museum comes from? Well, this idea of open museum, I thought because, sorry, because here in Mexico City, we have a lot of information since this is a very old city. So when I was studying at the downtown, I realized that every building has a lot of information and a lot of history. So I thought like there are like hundreds of museums, not just those institutional. It's just like if you walk in the city, you will realize that a lot of buildings has a lot of history, a lot of information, and even in the streets, you can find a lot of information about this city, especially art, for the reasons I will show you later. Another important fact is that I start doing Airbnb experiences because, well, and I wanted to share this history with visitors from other countries because I wanted to do art with this information. So what I thought it was the first step was to study a lot of history. So I thought like about this idea, like encouraging me to study more and more history. Um, and then I realized that a lot of visitors preferred, I mean, they like museums, but they also wanted to be in the streets, watching around and knowing what was there and more about the information they received from the outside. Okay. Another idea was the idea of site-specific museum, which refers to um, a museum which is in a special place with to work with the information in that specific place. And well, I'm gonna start telling you how all this started. At first, this little dot you see here, it used to be Mexico Tenochtitlan, founded by the Mexica people or Aztecs, as everybody knows, but well, the right term is Mexicas. And as you see, this blue zone is used to be the lake. So before the Spanish people came, uh, this city was very, well, it was surrounded by lakes. It was more water than the city, as you watch in the map. I will show you later a project that is occurring right now in this area. So I want you to remember this area, which refers to the Texcoco Lake. Yeah, but well, now I will show you how much this city has been expanding through time. As I tell you, at first it was this little dot, but now at 2015, it was just this black dot you see over here, and that is the expansion of Mexico City. Also, another important thing is that even though the Aztecs were the ones living in this city, yeah, we have influence from a lot of other cultures like Teotihuacan, like the Toltecs, the Mixtecos, because here, if you see, well, it's in the center of Mexico City, but also Mexico City is in the center of Mexico, and Mexico is kind of in the center of America. So this is a very centered place. So that's why, well, also the Mexico Tenochtitlan used to be a commerce center. So that's why people from everywhere used to come here. And this is a timeline I have created for you. Well, I have fixed it for you so that I can explain more about the art and the colonial. Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry to stop you for just a second, but I think our view is still showing your first slide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you may have been talking about the second slide there, and I didn't realize it until now. But
oh, sorry. I am seeing all of them, but let me see what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe yeah, I know what happened. Yeah, I think I shared another.
Okay. Now we see the
sorry.
timeline. So that
Sorry.
that's
So I
good.
will show you. I thought you were seeing
Okay.
watching all of these slides.
We missed all of these. Okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should just show you fast.
Yeah.
And then
Great.
if you want to see the lecture again, then you can check it out. This is slides because I have prepared for you some visual.
I
so
see.
that
Do you want to go back and show us the first slides again quickly, or no?
Yeah, as you tell me, it's fine. Like,
Yeah, it's
what do
okay.
you think? You
Yeah, it's
prefer?
good. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, at first I explained about this idea of museum and then the idea of maps and then where this idea come from. So And then how much this city has been expanding. I think the most important is this Tenochtitlan Lake, well, the Texcoco Lake, which used to be in this part of the city. And nowadays, the lake left is very little. Now there is a project, a urban project for rescuing this part of the lake, which I will show you a little bit later. Okay. And then I was showing you all the influences from the other cultures, other pre-Hispanic cultures in Mexico, Tenochtitlan. And then in this timeline, what I want to show you is how much time does this colonial and European aesthetics has been around in this city, which were almost 300 years. But if we compare with the pre-Hispanic cultures, is not that much. And then, well, I know you have a lecture about the moralism, so I want you also to watch how much time this was and how it occurred, because moralism has a lot to be with the creation of a nation, or the creation of an aesthetic of a nation. So this is important to share with, well, it's important for me to share with you, because I have the suspicion, well, I am, I suspect that there are some specific Mexican aesthetics. And even though nobody has talked about it, I thought that this will be a great idea to do. And today is part of what I want to do, to talk a little bit more about this idea of having our own Mexican aesthetics, which is kind of a mix-up aesthetic, okay? And well, this painting is from Jose Maria Velasco Gomez, and I wanted to show you because this is what the Valley of Mexico used to be in the 90s, and that how the city has been growing. But also because this kind of painting used to be like very academic, was the kind of painting that in the 19th century, it was considered as the good art, okay? Or well done art. And well, what I propose here is that, or what I say is that the problem is that art in Mexico, it's also outside of the museums. And that's what I want to prove you. I'm not talking that this we continue doing this pre-Hispanic art pieces, because we are not anymore those pre-Hispanic people or those Mexica people. But this idea of the art mixing with the life, I think is still in Mexico. And it is very visible in Mexico City. So I've noticed that when visitors come, that's the reason they want to eat in the street, and they feel really attracted about all these traditions of the Death's Day and a lot more of things. I like this tradition of the Death's Day, or the ofrenda or offer, because for this tradition, we honor the people who already passed away in our family. And it's kind of telling ourselves and the others that life matters. So that very profound spirituality in that idea that life matters makes possible that not only human life matters, but all the environment. And that connection with the environment make possible to perceive other things which are very aesthetic. and artistic. And that is, I think, the very heart of all of these pre-Hispanic traditions, which are still alive in Mexico City. So talking about this idea that art is outside of the museums, it's quite difficult in Mexico, or even in Mexico, because there is some cultural and economic tension, in a sense that there are lots of museums, like very big museums, which are very institutional, but sometimes they are kind of post-colonial, colonial, global, and sometimes a little bit elitist. But on the other hand, we have also other kind of shows, other kind of aesthetics, which are more local and inclusive. So I think I have a little problem here. I don't know what happened. Wait me a minute. Sorry, I think the PowerPoint was like stop, but don't worry. I'm just back in a minute, okay? Well, that is what do you think about it? Like, are you agreed with my ideas, or please tell me something?
So I like how you see museums in other places besides the institutional world. And I think it was interesting the Lucha Libre, the wrestling, that you had put there as an idea of a museum, as a particular kind of museum.
Thank you. Yeah, well, the idea is I am not against museums or something like that. I need to say that there are also a lot of very interesting museums in Mexico that not that institutional. I am going to show you right now. Like, yeah, share screen. We are back. Sorry. Yeah. And yeah. Yeah, like in this plate, we can see just the museums that are in Mexico downtown, which are 43. I mean, a lot of them are very historic museums, not only contemporary art museums. But I wanted you to show, oh, sorry, do you hear the dogs? Sorry. Yeah, well, but I wanted you to show because we have a lot of museums here, okay? Oh no, another time. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. We have also a lot of institutional art scene events and art galleries, which most of the time locate here in very touristic areas. And well, even though I think this is very interesting going on at Mexico City, such as Feria Maco Art Fair or Feria Material or Salon Acme or Gallery Weekend. Sometimes I think they focus in the visitors more than in very local Mexican people. So
Fernanda, I just want to make sure, are you still on the slide that says institutional art scene without cultural centers in all Mexico City downtown?
Oh yeah, do you see my no, I think let me see. Yeah, I think that there is something going on with my PowerPoint. Sorry. Yeah, are you
Yeah, okay, we see a different slide now.
you see. Okay.
Events and art galleries.
Yeah, that
Okay.
that was what I was talking about you earlier. Yeah, well, yeah, this map shows you like all all of the art galleries, principally located at the zone of the Condesa or the Roma or the Polanco zone or Chapultepec. So we have a lot of art galleries, but what I think is that most of them and these events are focused on visitors which can afford buying this kind of art, but not really all the people from Mexico. So I think that institutional art has been modeled by the state, commercial artists, and foreign buyers, and also from non-institutional arts. And non-institutional art is more modeled by the Mexican people, culture, and what they really think. And of course, institutional art. Okay, I have here a question, but maybe we will wait a little bit for the end. Another important art that I consider, do you see the screen? Like with the urban art?
We see the screen with the man holding the skull.
Ah,
the
yeah,
mural?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, of course, there are a other type of artwork which I think stays in the middle, that they are not that institutional and not that non-institutional. For example, urban art, I think it is like in the middle because it allows people to see what what almost any artist is creating. And it's pretty easy to do it. Like, for example, the stickers, you can just do your stickers and then sell them or just stick them everywhere. Of course, well, don't stick it in forbidden places because it's forbidden, but uh, well, you can stick it in your backpack or in your car or everywhere. And I think it's more free. Um, other other techniques that I think are more like popular and not that institutional are pottery, engraving, and textiles, and even cartoon. There is a very long tradition of doing this kind of artworks in Mexico, which I consider they are not that institutionalized because uh, we don't have any museum just for pottery or just for, well, there is an engraving museum, but most visitors don't know it, and a lot of people from Mexico don't go there. So I think we need to show more this art, and that's why I think it's important to show visitors or people from everywhere that this exists in Mexico, and not only the art galleries or the very big museums. Also, I am talking about these very local handcrafts, such as the Tree of Lives and alebrijes, which are very interesting and colorful techniques. Well, of course, I am talking a lot about visual arts because I am a visual artist, but we have also this kind of dancing, which I consider this is like an pre-Hispanic interpretation more than very, very pre-Hispanic. Uh, but I wanted to show you how it works. It works more like integrating into everyday life, all of this kind of art. Even this mariachi and traditional dance in Mexico, it's very integrated with life. Like you can see these people dancing in the parks or in shows everywhere in the states, and every state has different music and different dresses and different ways of dancing. And for example, for me, this is really, really, really amazing. And it doesn't exist a museum for the dance and music from Mexico, and I think it should, because it's really interesting. Every detail they put in the dresses, and every music is a mixture. It's not pre-Hispanic, but it's a mixture of a lot of other cultures which are alive, and people sing it, and people dance it, and people are just living it. And well, here comes the hypothesis, or this idea of Mexican aesthetic, in which I say that Mexico City is just like a very big museum where contemporary cultural traditions and independent art ideas are mixed up. And that is because, as I told you, this pre-Hispanic art influence, this Spanish European influence, the migration influence, which make as a result a mix up aesthetic, or Mexican aesthetic. And yeah, as I have told you, well, we have been a lot of time very pre-Hispanic, and it's impossible just to erase that and change all aesthetic in few years. Or well, it has been a lot time, but I mean, this is a timeline I did to show you how much time this kind of aesthetics had been in this place. And yeah, that's what I am proposing. So now I want you to do an exercise with me. Well, I want to show you how to build your own maps. At first, well, we have this Google Maps tool. The only thing you need is to be logged in a Google account, not necessarily Google Maps, just the Google account. And then in the left, there are 3 lines, and then you can go to your sites, and then it appears this word as maps. And then here in the bottom, you can create a map. So if you want, you would like to do the exercise? Because sure, okay.
Yes.
Yes, Clara Friedlander wants that. Thank you, Clara. Okay, I'm going to share with you the screen. Sorry. Yeah, here. Okay, with the Firefox. Are everybody ready to do our own map? You just need to log in your Gmail account. So let me know when everyone is ready, okay? Has everyone logged in your account, in your Google account? Then when you log in, you just type Gmail in another window, and then you just come inside. Oh, sorry, Google Maps, sorry, Google Maps. Yeah. Are you doing it, Steve?
I'm doing it, or trying to.
Yeah, do you have a Google account?
I do.
Okay, well, if you are logging, the first letter will appear here. So in the left, there are 3 lines, and then you press there, and it must appears this. Maybe in English is your sides. How does it appears to you? Do you find it? Please tell me if you
Has
have
anybody
this.
found it? I'm not finding it on mine, but maybe somebody else who's better at
Oh,
it.
you didn't find? It's in these 3 lines. Like, well, if you go to Google Maps, like for example, here I wrote those Google Maps, And then if I am logged in, it appears like the first letter. And then if it appears, it means I am logged in. And then it's much more easier because you need to be logged in.
Am I logging into your account, Fernanda? Am I trying to get what
No.
what you
So
have?
if you click on, like she was saying, if you click on those 3 lines there,
Yeah.
it'll bring up a list, and the second option, it says your places. If you click on that, it seems.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
then
did that.
okay, yeah. And then in your places, you click on maps. Okay.
Okay.
And then in the bottom, you will see here, which says create map.
Okay, got it.
And then you can create very easily a map. Today, we are going to create a map from Mexico City. So I can type like Mexico City and it will appear. And then like here, we can, I don't know, do you have any idea that you want to do a map or about something? I did a map for you, but if anyone wants to tell me if they have interest in doing some special kind of map, please tell me.
Maybe with the prehispanic places of the city.
Ah, yeah. Well, that's the map I have created for you.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah, I will show you then. Well, the thing is here, like but that's true. Well, here is the Templo Mayor Museum, as you see right here. Yeah. So, well, I lost it, but yeah, here is Plaza Loreto. No, oh no, yeah. Ah, yeah. Here is the Templo Mayor. So if you want to map the Museum of Templo Mayor, you just need to choose this kind of figure and put it here. And then you say, like, for example, this is like the first place you want to visit. So you maybe with first place, Templo Mayor. And then you can write a description here, and then you save. And then if you want to go to another place, for example, here used to be the Templo Mayor, and over here used to be the Templo Mayor. Over here, it used to be the Calmecac, just close to here. So maybe it's point 2, and I put Calmecac. And then I write down the description. And then I just, if I want to walk all of this area, I select this figure and I add the route by foot, and I just trace it, like, for example, from this point to this point. And then we have from A to B, this route. And then I can add all the routes I want to add. And then at the end, I can share my map. Like, for example, here, when I say share, and then I name the map, for example, the ancient Tenochtitlan. And then the description, and I say, okay. And then I share with you by the drive or wherever I want. I have done for you some map. I will just refresh. I think here, yeah. This map, the Mexico Tenochtitlan ancient city, is a map which shows you the pre-Hispanic buildings which are in the downtown. Some of them you can watch just going to the city, but some of them you need to go to the building and go under the building. Well, in a special museum site, it's already prepared to see it. And you can watch part of this city, which used to be Mexico Tenochtitlan. So here I made a map for the most biggest treasures from the Mexico Tenochtitlan city. It doesn't mean that they are the only ones. We have more at the National Palace or at the Museo Nacional de las Culturas and other buildings. But these are very, you will see only kind of stones. So I just map for you like the most important or more relevant places, okay? So please ask me if you have questions, if you like the experiment of building your own map.
I liked it. I did music places, and so first time I've used that feature in Google Maps. That's really cool. I'm glad you showed me that.
Yeah, and if you want more help, please tell me. I am happy to help.
I always need a lot of help.
Yeah, and well, this is like how it looks, the downtown area. Do you see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how it looks, and this is how also it used to be. This area used to be the Mexico Tenochtitlan main ceremonial center, which contains the pyramids and the most important buildings. This is the Templo Mayor, and this is the Calmecac. And under the cathedral is the Quetzalcoatl temple. And this
Excuse
here,
me?
yeah.
The Calmecat, what is the Calmecat?
The Calmecac used to be the school for the or university, or well, the place where the Mexica people used to learn and study.
Okay, thank you. And it was connected to it was connected to the rest of the city center of Tenochtitlan. Like it was connected to Templo Mayor and all that. It was just part of the same
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah, all of
Okay.
this was supposed to be connected because it was like a ceremonial center. But nowadays, we have a lot of buildings over here. So the only buildings you will see if you go to the downtown will be the Templo Mayor. And if you walk through some of the buildings on the under the buildings, like in a special museums, you will see some rests of this ancient city. So it will let you imagine more or less where the buildings were. Because if I show you this, well, it's difficult to imagine, but if you walk it, it's easier. Like you see some rocks at the cathedral, you will see some rocks at some treasures at the Calmecac, and of course the temple which has much more treasures is the Templo Mayor and the Zompantli and these eagle houses. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Then
thank you.
thank you, Clara. Okay. Another way for mapping the city is by drawing it. Like here, I will show you um, an artwork commissioned by the Academy of San Carlos by Darío Melendez and Rebecca Orozco. And they commissioned this art piece with the idea that we do some site-specific artwork, but with the things we found surrounding the Academy of Arts. So I found this man in the streets asking for some charity. And to me, it was quite interesting because I realized that going to the academy just for taking classes or just for studying was different than going with the idea of creating an artwork. So for me, this pregón was kind of interesting. It was a man asking for charity, and then I asked a friend to put that in music, and he helped me, and I put this um, sheet music in the book. In this book, I put all of my impressions around walking around this academy, and I found out a lot of things which are, well, interesting for me, like the Santa Muerte saint. It was like interesting because this saint, people put it in a in a desk with wheels, and then they move it everywhere. So it changed positions. And these are some of the pictures I took from this surrounding area from San Carlos, and that's how I did this book. And well, I am not the only one who is like doing crazy projects around the downtown area. There is also a very famous artist, which name is Francis Alice, and he's always using all of these spaces for creating new artworks, which talks about politics, which talks about how Mexicans, yeah, well, for example, in this artwork, he's talking about how politicians do publicity so that people vote for them. And in this case, he's criticizing that almost all of these politicians told people that everyone will have a house or housing for everyone. So he created this art piece with the slogans of the publicity from these politicians, and then he just tied it into the air extractor from the subway. And well, of course, there are other very ambitious projects which are like this Alberto Kalash project, Future City, in which he tries to, well, he did this project for returning all the lakes to Mexico Tenochtitlan and fixing it or converting it into a sustainable city. But of course, this project is too ambitious, so it has never occurred. But thanks to this idea, now the architect Iñaki Echeverria is working in an ecologic park, which name is the Texcoco Lake, which is right here. Remember, I told you that to watch the lakes. Well, this is the part of the lake which is outside, in fact, from Mexico City, but is the remaining lake, which I told you in the beginning. And well, here I wrote down some of the conclusions about this idea of Mexico City as an open museum. I would like you to share with me if you think Mexico City can be an open museum. And also, if you make your own map or something, you can share with me in my mail or my Instagrams. And I would like you to share with you some music, which which I found, because I know that most of you are musicians. So I thought maybe it is too visual. So to share with you what I think about the art scene in Mexico, I thought about a group which name is the Cojolites, and I will share with you the screen. But referring to the fact that in Mexico, I think that the art is part of the life, and life is part of the art. Okay, so I will share with you. I think it's, yeah. Do you hear it? Do you hear
It's not very, not that much.
No, you want me to hear it? Do you hear it that way?
It's better, but maybe it's better if you send the link in the chat.
Thank you.
Because
Yeah, of course.
yeah, you're welcome.
You don't hear it right, okay? Okay. I will send you the link in the chat, and maybe everyone can hear. Okay.
You may need to share your sound, and when you share screen, there's a little box that you can share the sound to.
You don't hear the sound, right?
I think we're hearing it through your computer's speakers instead of it pushing the sound to us.
Maybe if I put off the speakers, you will hear it. Let me see.
Yeah.
Do you hear it now?
It's better, yeah.
Yes, but I think it would be maybe easier with the link, because it's a bit okay. Maybe it's my cell phone.
Well, link. Hey. Hello?
I hear.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
I sent you the link. I hope you like the music, but
Yeah.
the idea is that this music shows you how most Mexicans integrate art to their lives, like most of the time. It's not something like you go to watch outside. It's something like in the everyday life.
What was the music of? Who was the group again?
Yeah, the group name is Los Cojolites, and I already put it in the chat.
Okay,
It's,
yeah. I see the YouTube link.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a mixture like all of the other art, as you know, maybe like Mexican music is also a mixture of a lot of other cultures.
Before we started tonight, you showed me a couple of pieces of your own artwork that are on your wall there next to you. Do you want to show us one of them?
Yeah, of course.
Or a couple?
I can show you. Yeah, connect this so that. Yeah. Well, here I have. Do you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
I have one of the art pieces. I have also another textile here, and in the back I have also all others. And well, I have a lot of paintings here, everywhere. And yeah, let's show you more. Here are the other ones. Well, at first, on these big paintings, I am honoring a Mayan deity, which name is Hunab. And then I realized an abstract series, an abstract artworks about the Mexicas, which name was Xixiltic. This is just one of a lot of other paintings about the Mexicas. But then I thought like I must know much more about these pre-Hispanic cultures, and that's why I also started researching in these topics. And I found it very interesting because I realized that that fact that they mix the art with their life all the time. And that's how I was also interested in giving you this, well, sharing with you these ideas. And I hope someday I can write them in English or in Spanish, but write them on and share with you.
Thank you for a wonderful lecture and a great ending to our whole series here. We're at 8:30, and I know that many of you have other things that you need to do. And Fernanda, I don't want to keep you, but if you'd like to stick around for a while, you're very welcome to. Does anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to talk about this evening?
I have a little commentary about what you said. I think it's really interesting what you said about the fact that, well, Mexico City is like an open museum because, well, when you showed your artwork, like your little book about the Academia de San Carlos, and you showed that guy who was like begging, and he was singing a song. I think this is very important in Mexico City, like in the atmosphere of Mexico City, like many people who are selling stuff or who are begging money, they sing or they have special songs. And it's really funny because now they also have they have it like, how to say, grabado. Fernanda.
Engraving. They record. They have the I record.
They record it.
I
now it's
record
recorded.
I record
but
the guy who was yelling or screaming.
Yes.
This book includes the yell of this man, but I was ashamed about putting it because I know that I don't know. Maybe I can share with you if you want. But
I think it's interesting because nowadays like there are some songs that you hear in the whole city, like Se compran colchones, like some songs that everybody knows that this is the guy who sells, I don't know, this guy sells, I don't know, like this guy buys all the metals and he has the specific song, and every people who buy metal have this song, but there are different versions of records. Like, for example, the people who sell bread, they have a song which is El Panadero con El Pan, and they have several versions. Like today I heard one, it was like the rap version of the song of the guy who sells bread. And I think it's your piece of art is really interesting because it really reflects what you meant about Mexico City, like as a museum, because art is really part of everyday life. Like everybody's making art in very everyday life, no? In situations of everyday life. Sorry. So I think it's a really good idea to record that guy, and that's it.
Thank you, Claire. Fernanda, I gotta break in here for a minute. I forgot to ask you your favorite dessert, and everybody wants to know their code word tonight. So
Yeah, of course. I don't know what is the name in, in English, but maybe you can help me because this is a very delicious dessert. If you come to Mexico, I will make for you. So that I mean, okay. So this is these are called the obleas with sugar and seeds, pumpkin seeds. It's very
Wow. Okay, could you say the name slowly for me and maybe write it in the chat for us?
Oh yeah, it's the ones that we have in the church. Like they give it you in the church, but
Oh, like a
these
communion
are,
wafer?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
but these have color and these have sugar,
Wow.
and we have more colors.
What is the name in Spanish?
Obleas.
How do you spell it?
OBLEAS.
Okay.
Obleas.
There you go, everyone. Obleas.
But if you come, I will make for you.
Okay.
You're
That's-
welcome.
That sounds great. Lovely.
Thank you.
All right, good. Are there any other? I know those some of those songs. The tamale song is really interesting, and then the metal one I like. Ba da dee da 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 da. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. you will hear everyone shouting here in Mexico. Well, right now it's a little bit late, but earlier I was worried because maybe some sounds from the street were going to interrupt us, but
No.
not anymore.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful part of being in the city too. Any other questions tonight? Fernanda, do you have a few more minutes or do you need to go?
I am fine. Like I am really happy to enjoy this lecture with you, and thank you so much. Yeah, it relaxed me a lot, like your way of asking and everything. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, we've really enjoyed hearing what you have to say, and those slides that you created are beautiful. They're really, really nice work.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Whenever you want.
Yeah, I would love to. I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing those, but if you do, I'd love to see them sometime.
Yeah, I have the, well, you can contact me anytime, but I can send you my phone, or let me see. I don't see everyone.
Anyway, well, thank you, everyone. I meant to thank you and everyone clap. And so those of us who are left, give you a big clap and thanks
Thank you.
tonight. And good. Anyone else have anything they'd like to add this evening?
I wanted to thank Fernanda for the lecture. And I also wanted to thank Professor Thompson for setting up all these lectures for this semester and helping us learn a lot about Mexico and its rich culture and music and art and all that stuff. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Khalid.
Thank you. Yeah, well, anytime you want to come to Mexico, I can tell you, well, I can recommend you some places to go, or if I can show you the places. I like to share with people from everywhere, because I also like traveling, and well, I notice that every time I travel, it's like knowing more and expanding my own way of viewing things.
Yeah.
So I will be happy to
Yeah,
share
well,
with
thank
you.
you. Yeah. Last time I was in Mexico City, I went on a what we call a bender. I went on a torta bender. I went looking for the best tortas in Mexico
Oh.
City. And that was if I had only known how to use your Google Map point and walk, make your own map, that would have really made my life interesting.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I used to draw the maps, and I like the mapping thing. But since I was going to do this lecture, I thought like maybe it would be easier to share with you this Google Maps technique, which is quite easy. I mean, like, if you like to build your maps or to visit cities, I think it's really helpful.
Yes. Let's see, Clara. I found my favorite torta at a little hole in the wall market near, let's see if I can find it. There's a very nice restaurant in the Condesa area called Contramar. It's like a seafood place. And just up the street from that, in a little neighborhood, there's a little torta place that's part of a market. And there are people sitting all around this counter. And you go in and you pay your money on the market side, and they give you a ticket, and then you go over and you give it. And I had there something like a milanesa, which I think was like a breaded chicken or steak or something.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice, thank you.
Hope that helps. I don't remember the name though.
Where there are lots of good tortas and tacos at Mexico
Yes.
City. I think it's
sure
the best
there are.
place for tacos and tortas.
Yes. I just love the street food. It's everywhere. You cannot go hungry in Mexico City.
No, that's true. And yeah, you have a lot of variety of kind of food. So yeah, I encourage you to come to Mexico City.
Well, I would like to come back. Yes. I went to the Sumaya and when I was there in April. And I had a really nice time seeing the Rodin, sculptures that are on the top floor and the paintings. There's just so much there. It was almost too much. I couldn't take it all in, but it was an incredible museum. And then I went to the Bellas Arts and saw the Diego Rivera murals and who's the Italian painter, Mogliani, the paintings and all of that. That was really interesting too. Yeah, two great institutional museums.
Yeah, there are hundreds of museums. Like just in the downtown area, there are 43, but we have other neighborhoods with a lot of much other museums.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I encourage also to think about what you like most, because even living here in the city, it don't allow you to know all of the museums.
Yeah.
Because it's too much time and too much to see, and yeah.
What did you say? 170 museums.
Yeah, 170.
Yeah. That's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I discovered once there is a shoe museum. I haven't been there.
A shoe? Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a museum for everything. Well, one which is very interesting is the toy museum. I like that. Yeah.
Have you found a music museum? I found one in Puebla, but I didn't find one in Mexico City. Is there?
I was looking for a music museum because I know that you're more interested in music, but no, there are only music academies, and I think music has had a lot of control here in Mexico, but it happens the same with the visual art. It's very mixed up. Like we have influence from everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have studied a little bit about how is music from Mexico mixed up, and it's very interesting how the instruments. We have also African influence, but it's different. It's a different history from the visual art. and it's more how to say, like more control, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a very diverse cultural experience. There's a lot going on there. A lot of people there in Mexico City.
yeah. Yeah, that's true also. Does anyone here has come to Mexico City, or just Clara? Ah.
Just- Well, okay. Thank you, everyone. And I think we're about done. Any more questions? Thank you, Fernanda.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I think everyone wants to sleep now. Ah.
Yes, yes. I know
But
it's late there.
I am
Okay.
happy to meet everyone, and thank you, Steve, and everyone
Yeah.
who was here.
It's good to talk with you, and best wishes, and I can't wait to see more of your art.
Thank you, Steve. You are welcome anytime you want.
Take care. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Clara.
You gonna post it tomorrow?
Yeah, if it renders tonight, I'll try to have it up tomorrow.
Okay,
It-
I just got back from my flights. So
Oh.
I'm kind of
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it takes Zoom a little while sometimes. I'll just
Okay.
see if it's in my box tomorrow, then I'll go ahead and get it posted.
All right.
All right. Okay, Anthony.
All right, man.
Take care.
All right,
Sounds
you
like
too.
you're busy. Okay.
Oh, trust and believe. Trust and believe. I was busy the whole time. Dealing with these little rascals on the flight.
Yeah, well, that's how it is traveling with little kids.
But mission was completed. So all I
Yeah.
can say, I was happy about that.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, man. You take it easy.
Okay. Have a good
All right.
evening, Anthony. Get some rest.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. Thank you.
Oh.
Bye.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for coming tonight.
Bye.
Goodbye. Okay, I'm going to say goodnight unless anyone else has any more questions. Okay, good night, everyone.